is NDTV, and you are watching NDTV Prime.
CNB Bazaar Buzz is back and it's action-packed, full of information that you can use. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Partnkar and this is today's lineup. A special ride around Delhi with Royal Enfield. What the new Motor Vehicles Act could mean for you in terms of traffic regulations and fines. A new bike wash service. And an exclusive look at all the special cars belonging to none other than Ralph Lauren. Right, so all of that is coming up. We'll start by talking about that Motor Vehicles Act. There are new rules and regulations being proposed, mostly for your good, because it will make overall traffic assessment and management a lot more stringent, perhaps more streamlined, but therein lies a little bit of a caveat and a problem. What we're now getting to know is that while there would be all these stricter regulations and new, much higher fines as well, the necessary infrastructure to be able to implement all of this correctly, well, just doesn't exist around the country. King Shuk Datta has more details on that.
Admitted, at one point in time have broken traffic rules. Most of us would have been caught by the traffic cops and paid a fine for the same. Some of us may have even tried to bribe the traffic cops in order to avoid paying the fines and the legal hassles. But what if you were caught and fined by the traffic cops because the traffic signs or signals were faulty? Now that would definitely pinch you, right?
Did you know that approximately 75% of the road signs, signals and markings in Delhi do not conform to the standards laid down by the authorities? With the new Motor Vehicle Act on the anvil, this poses a threat of sorts to the average motorist. Let's find out how.
Here are a few examples of some basic problems with the traffic signage in Delhi. There are many faulty traffic signals in Delhi. This one here, for example, shows all three lights going on at the same time. This could possibly cause inadvertent breaking of traffic laws and moreover presents a danger for motorists as well. There are quite a few places in Delhi which have road signage but at the wrong places. This is a busy junction at a location in South Delhi. You can clearly see a pedestrian crossing sign, but there is no zebra crossing on the road. Where does the pedestrian cross from? Whenever you see double white lines in the middle of the road, it is almost equivalent to a divider and signifies that one cannot cross over to the other side. If you do, you would be breaking the law. But what if the marking was in the middle of an intersection where there's a traffic signal that allows you to take a right turn on the green light? Well, you would still be technically breaking a traffic rule with absolutely no fault of yours.
Primarily, everything which moves onto the road must have certain standards and codes of practice. The legislation of the road is based upon the standard practices of the environment. For example, if I say people must stop at signals at traffic lights, then the signals must be made as per what the standards require. For example, jumping a signal means jumping a stop line. Now, if the stop lines are not there, signals are wrongly placed, you cannot effectively obey the law.
IRTE did the study on 14 major roads in Delhi, which covered 85 kilometers and 1,514 traffic signals and signage. Of the traffic signage, at least 1,098 or 75% of them were found to be faulty and not meeting the required standards. The study said the color, size and shape code have been used interchangeably, which is not the correct way to go about it, because it's making the road users cause traffic violations unknowingly. So there you go. If the state of affairs on Delhi roads is not rectified, you just might end up paying a hefty fine only because of incorrect road signs and faulty traffic signals. With the updated Motor Vehicle Act about to be implemented into law, the concerned authorities really need to rectify these faults at the earliest, because the only people who stand to suffer are hapless motorists.
Right, so something to really be worried about, and hopefully the government is thinking about all of this before actually imposing the new guidelines. Now let's talk about Mr. Ralph Lauren. He is a designer who needs absolutely no introduction. His clothes and all the accessories and products that go under that label, well, they're some of the most sought after in the world. And what has he used all his money for? Well, amongst other things, he has had the privilege of owning some really special cars. He has quite the special collection of cars, and he decided to put that on show, and also some clothes inspired by his own collection.
Ralph Lauren is possibly one of the most well-known names in the fashion world. From a hand-stitched tie maker to one of the biggest names in female and male fashion, the brand has grown considerably over the last few decades. But not many people know that Ralph Lauren is also a huge petrol head and has one of the world's greatest car collection in private hands today. Recently, for the New York Fashion Week, Ralph Lauren decided to bring these two facets of his life together under one roof and showcase his new autumn collection at his garage in the midst of his multi-million-dollar car collection. From the likes of a new LaFerrari to absolutely bonkers cars like the Roof 9FF, Ralph Lauren's collection is drool-worthy.
Well, I couldn't afford a car for a long time, and that passion came when I couldn't afford the cars and I wanted one. I'm not a collector, but I love the cars, and I bought cars because I wanted to drive them. People always want to come see the garage, and I thought it was an interesting time to do something different. And I love cars, and I think cars are the art, and I think that the clothes are fashion, and I think mixing the cars and the art of the cars and the fashion of the clothes is exciting.
The event was graced by celebrities like Diane Keaton and Katie Holmes. The clothes showcase too had a slight automotive theme to them, especially this lovely black dress that harks back to pre-war race cars. Amongst the cars present at the event was the extremely rare Bugatti Type 57 Atlantique that is considered by many to be one of the most beautiful cars in the world and valued at well over $50 million today. Other notable cars included a plethora of classic race-bred Ferraris like the 250 LM and the absolutely iconic Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing.
We will take a short break here on Bazaar Buzz, but we come back with plenty more, so keep watching.